Hello, this is Zach, aka Crazy Spartan 300, and today we're going to do a how-to video on how to make your sprite have movement and how to be able to change costume with your sprite on Scratch MIT. So first, for all you viewers, you will do a create, and you'll create a new project. I have one set up already that is perfect for this tutorial. First, we have just a sprite. Nothing, no commands, no nothing. So in order for him to get him to do, like move forward or backward, we're going to set up an event. So we'll go to events and add a when a key is pressed command. And we'll do that for going forwards and backwards. And we'll use the arrows on your keyboard to make that happen. So let's start with the right arrow and the left arrow. So in order to move this sprite, we need to go to motion and add a move 10 steps function. So now when we press the green flag and start this operation and then test it out with the right arrow, we see that he moves forward, but he can't move backwards yet. So we add a move 10 steps function to the left arrow, but we make it -10. And this is because this white background here, imagine it as if it was a graph. And you have all your positive x values over here on the right side, and your negative x values on the left. So in order for him to go backwards, you have to have him go negative x places to the left. That's why we have the negative. So when we write this up, he can go back and forth both ways. Now we're going to do something a little more complex. We're going to make him be able to change his costume. And costumes are basically different images of the same sprite. So we go over here to costumes, and we look down here. There's 3 different ones. One for him standing, and 2 for different walking positions. And you can always draw up your own sprite too and create almost like a flash cartoon. So anyway, we have 3 costumes. Let us and they have to be in a certain order too. They can't be, if the standing here guy is on the outside, it won't look very well. It won't look like he's actually moving fluidly when we start the project. So let's go back to scripts. And in order to make this happen, we need to go to looks and put a next costume function under move 10 steps and move -10 steps. So let's see this in action. You see him going forward and going backwards, like that moonwalk. Now we have a moving character. And I have to press the keyboard plenty of times in order for him to get to move a certain spot. Now, you can actually increase how far he moves by changing this value right here. So let's go 20 steps and -20 steps each time. So when we press the arrows, he's going farther each step. And whenever you're making a video or a game in Scratch MIT, you can change the values as you want and play around with it. Now I'm going to show you how to make this sprite jump. And it's a little different than just making him move up a certain amount of steps. So let's have a press. When the up arrow is pressed, we have something going on. And the first thing we'll do is add control, because there are 2 separate movements in a jump, going up and going down. So Let's add 2 repeat functions, and you'll see why I need these in a second. Go over to motion, and we need to change the Y because it's going up the Y axis. So we change the Y by 10 and change the Y by -10. And right here you're going to notice something odd when I press the up arrow. Well, actually, no, you won't. So he's actually jumping a certain height. But when I change the values for these repeats, let's say I change this to 5, watch what happens. He doesn't go all the way back down to where he originally jumped from. And sometimes you might want that in certain movies, but when you're having a game, you want the character to land where he jumped from. So you want to keep the repeat values the same. And you can play around with these values if you want him to jump less. You can have him jump quicker. And so forth. That's the basics for movement. And you can also add a change costume function if you wanted to for jumping. You could actually create a jumping character, like a jumping costume, so it'll look like he's actually jumping when you press that key. So thanks for listening, guys. These should be the basics on how to move around in Scratch and hopefully kickstart your cool projects that you guys will all be making.
Shout out to Connor.
Thanks.